Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Blood, Sweat, and Fears podcast. We are just approaching the Christmas season now, and boy, do we have a very Christmas-associated movie for you this week. Alan, how are you doing, my man?
Oh, I'm great, Dean. My voice sadly hasn't come back, even though it's been a whole 2 weeks since we last recorded. It definitely wasn't 10 minutes ago.
You know, with your voice now, it actually kind of fits. Could you do a Jigsaw voice right now?
Would you like to play a little game?
That was shite. I'm sorry.
Hello, Alan. You have been trying so hard to put puns onto this podcast. You will have to get through this entire episode without making a single pun. Live or die. Make your choice.
A little bit better.
Yeah, I'm a voice actor. I kind of need to be.
Well, I'd probably be better at doing an impression of the puppet since I'm so good at having a hand inside me.
And we have an incredible guest to chat with us. I'm very excited to have her on the podcast. You've seen her on Still Game, Two Doors Down, an incredible stand-up. Please welcome Rachel Jackson. Hey, and you were just telling us you got here for a discounted price, which is excellent.
Price. I came all the way from Edinburgh. The ticket gates were open at Edinburgh Park. I was like, fucking yes. And then there was no ticket inspector. Like, just one of those good days where everything works out. So I got here for £2.80 rather than £15, so I'm loving life.
I would be careful about bragging about that though, because Jigsaw could see that and be like, you have been ripping off train workers. You wake up on a train track like in Saw 7 with Jill.
Any excuse for Jigsaw. Any excuse. You have got from Edinburgh Park for free. I saw it.
You live in Edinburgh.
But went all the way to Glasgow without having to pay. Now you will pay.
It's just you having to get through a fucking ticket booth with spikes on it. I say that I actually love gigging in Edinburgh. I've got a couple of Monkey Barrel weekend spots coming up, and I'm very excited for them. So yeah,
I feel like I die on my arse most of the time in Edinburgh.
You're just going to get through the free-for-alls, man. You'll get there.
Well,
sorry, can I just interrupt? That's one of my, when someone says you'll get there, that's one of my like bugbears. Like
bugbears?
Bugbear, is that what you say? Like
a
what?
pet peeve.
Like pet peeve, yeah.
I've never heard bugbear.
Have you ever heard bugbear?
No, that's a new thing for me.
It's like a pet peeve when someone says you'll get there, because I just always feel patronised. I'm not saying
Dean.
I'm not saying you were doing that there.
I patronise him all the time. This is how our friendship works.
I'm like oversensitive to that comment, because in my career I've had people say that to me, and I'm just like, go fuck yourself.
Alan, tell me to go fuck myself right
fuck
You'll get there. Don't worry, you'll get there.
For being big time by Dean on the New Comedy Award.
Oh man. Yeah, it's so Saw is, I mean, this is probably one of the movies where I was dead young when this came out. I was about maybe 8 years old, but I remember the fucking zeitgeist that it was. Everyone was talking about this movie when it came out, and this movie suffers from what I call, well, not this movie specifically, the series suffers from what I call the Home Alone effect.
And what does that mean?
A little tease for what we're going to be doing for our Christmas special. But so everyone says this about Saw and Home Alone. So the first Home Alone is a really solid like movie about Kevin learning how to grow up, and the traps are just a fun little thing at the end. Whereas in this, it's a very good like noir mystery thriller with some traps in it. And then for the sequels, it's just like, how bloody and carnageful can we make all this? Which I enjoy the Saw sequels because I'm a fan of the Saw series. But you can't really... I can't say as a film fan they're as good as how this film is. Like, I really love the whole noir mystery thing going with it. So, Rachel, you're a massive Saw fan. I want to know, like, what made you love this movie?
I'm showing my age now, because you said you were dead young when it came out, whereas I was like 17. So I actually got to go and see it at the cinema.
Oh.
Yeah, so I saw it at the cinema, and I honestly...
That's like a tongue twister.
And honestly, I'm 36 now. So that was like half my life ago I saw this film. I've never found a scarier film, in my opinion. And I'm a big horror fan. I'm like a horror geek, and I've seen a fuckload of horror. But nothing I think is as scary as the original Saw film.
It does have... I get what you mean. Like, it doesn't scare me as much as like others. Like, have you seen like Terrifier and stuff like that?
No, I don't think so.
that will fucking scare you.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's a very hard watch.
Right, okay.
See, a lot of that stuff's very over the top, though. The thing about Saw is it feels like something that could happen.
Yeah, it's just a psycho who's really good at engineering. Like, you do not want to piss chicks off.
I've seen the engineering students at Strathclyde. All of them could become Jigsaw.
Oh God. Oh God. I'm like, I'm scared now.
Yeah.
Thinking about that.
But like...
I think that's what you're saying though, Alan. It's like, because it feels like it could happen. It's not like, horror films with ghosts or ghouls or, whatever that you just know that doesn't exist. It's like the right psycho with the right tools could go and do this.
Yeah.
And probably does. It's like it probably does happen around the world, like, when fucked up murders and stuff.
Yeah, this must have happened at some point.
Must have happened.
For someone to have thought this up, it surely must have happened at some point. Like, maybe it's calling back to like sort of torture methods of like the Victorian era and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like I remember like Iron Maidens being a thing when I would look at history documentaries, and I'm sure there's like a take on an Iron Maiden trap somewhere in the Saw series. Like, did you see Saw X actually?
I've seen the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't realise, because it's like Roman numerals, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I've never been able to work out Roman numerals, and I saw it go past in the bus, Saw X, and I thought, does that mean Saw 10? Does that mean I've sat through 9 Saw films? And it's right. I've seen every single Saw film. But yeah, I saw Saw X a few weeks ago with my dad.
It was a nice wee throwback to like how this used to be.
Because it was it's so cute.
Dad, you want to see someone get killed by a chemotherapy machine?
And my dad's only quite recently into Saw, because he showed me this terrible film, black and white film called The Lighthouse. Have you seen it with Robert Pattinson?
Like
Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Did you see that? Oh,
I actually quite like that, but
no.
go ahead.
And I'm sick of your fart.
Me and my dad watched that because we both loved those two actors, and we thought, this is going to be really cool. 3 hours later, we're like, what the fuck did we just watch? So I said to my dad, as a punishment for you making me watch The Lighthouse, I'm going to make you watch Saw, because my dad loves like horror books, but he doesn't like watching horror films for some reason. So he doesn't mind all that imagery in his head when he's reading the books. But he's just too freaked out by horror films. But as a punishment for Lighthouse, I was like, you're watching Saw with me. And he actually really liked it. So then he was like, why don't we go see Saw X? And I was like, I don't think you know what you're in for, Dad, because the trailer only gives a wee bit of away, do you know?
I heard it went in a very kind of political direction. Like, it kind of had something to say about like the American healthcare system. I've not seen it yet.
Yeah.
It did a little bit, I suppose, because they got ripped off, like, because obviously he suffers with cancer, and they just like ripped him off and like did a pretend surgery on him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think like post, this is going to sound funny, but like post 9/11, it definitely had a change in the zeitgeist of how movies were made. Like, so in the big budget kind of big family movie kind of thing, you remember like in the 2000s, every big movie was like a sort of fantasy escapist kind of thing, because it was very defined good and evil kind of stuff. And then when you go to the horror side, it's like, no, we're going to show you the horrors of what this world really is.
Yeah.
And they only slightly hint at the sort of capitalism angle that they'll go for the rest of the series with the first film. But I love that you mentioned The Lighthouse, because Dr. Gordon and Adam straight up is now reminding me of Pattinson and Defoe. I was just imagining Lee Winnell being like, there, if I had a rare bloody steak, I would fuck it. I would fuck this steak.
I'm just imagining conspiracy theorist Jigsaw now with like George Bush waking up and like, you did 9/11.
And then it's like, if you can't spell this long word, and George Bush is just like, oh fuck.
No. And you don't see him for a lot of the movie by design, but you do hear the voice. As a voice actor, man, Tobin Bell is fucking amazing to watch. Like, he's voiced other characters that I really like, and this is going to get really nerdy. In the 3rd season of The Flash, he was the villain Savitar, and it just sounded like Jigsaw, but if he was a comic book villain and a speedster.
Right.
And that was really fun. And like, Tobin Bell's like a really understated kind of character actor. Like, I wish he would be in more stuff, but he seems to only have really done TV stuff and the Saw films.
I can honestly say I've not seen him in anything but Saw, so in a way I quite like that, because he is Jigsaw to me. You know what I mean? He's not like an actor I've seen in other stuff. He's Jigsaw, baby.
Whereas the acting in I love this movie, and Lee Winnell's a very good writer. At this time, he wasn't a fantastic actor.
Who did he play?
He played Adam.
Oh, right.
Oh,
It was
him.
alright.
Oh, Adam, yeah.
My name is very fucking confused. What's yours?
Yes, love it. Quoting it. Yes.
Cary Elwes is a good actor. Like, he's the one really bringing the gravitas to
yeah,
it.
totally.
And Danny
Dr.
Glover
Gordon.
and stuff, yeah. He's the Princess Bride guy, isn't he?
Yes, and I didn't know this until because I've never seen Princess Brides. It was something I hadn't seen until a few months ago, and I said, "That's that cunt we saw."
Dr. Gordon.
Yeah, Dr. Gordon we
Who's
saw.
somehow a bigger cunt than Jigsaw.
And he inspired the original Vajankle.
What? I don't even want to know what is that?
It's like a foot made of silicone, and like at the bit with the leg, there's a vagina in it, so you can fuck it.
What?
I'm sorry, Rachel. It's lovely to meet you.
How you doing? Wow.
Oh, man.
It's 2 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm not quite prepared for this. What have I walked into?
I don't want to see what your browser history looks like, Alan. Or your shopping history, or what you got me for Christmas this year.
Oh, I should get you something filthy for Christmas.
Please don't. I live with my mum, remember? Where am I going to put that? She's going to come through and try and ask if I got any washing. There's going to be a Vajankle sitting in the
What
corner.
What the actual fuck?
Oh, Dean, I know where you do some little stuff. My mum doesn't sound like something out of Red Riding Hood, but we'll go with it. Like, fuck it. We'll just keep going on with this, you know?
It's a saw prop.
Yeah, I'll say it's a saw prop.
So pro.
Although that being said, like as a guy who does collect movie props, I would love to get.
It's a flashlight.
I'd love to get the Saw bear trap because it's such a
Oh, God,
iconic
no.
little horror thing, and the scene with Amanda in this, who does get a little bit more interesting in the sequels.
Yes.
Low key spoiler because we talk about spoilers on this.
Yes.
Amanda is a much more interesting character than fucking Hoffman. Hoffman is one of the most boring antagonists in any series. Like. He's like Jigsaw, but without the moral code. And I'm like, yeah, this is basically like how I felt about like Venom and Carnage in the fucking 90s. I fucking hate Hoffman, man. I'm glad he's dead.
Well, see, on a side note about Venom, I went to see Venom Let There Be Carnage at the cinema, not realising that was the sequel.
Oh.
I thought, because I hadn't heard of Venom coming out, so I just thought it was Venom. And then the first scene is him, Venom like helping him cook his breakfast and all that. And I thought, wow, there's been no introduction to this.
He's not got the symbiote.
Yeah.
You were told for grace last time I saw you.
I came out the cinema thinking, what did I just watch? And then my pals were like, Rachel, you saw the sequel. So, oh, fuck. Oh well.
Oh, those were excellent.
Yeah, we are actually
Such a
pretty good.
romance movie.
Romance.
Although you do get somewhat of a bromance going between Dr. Gordon and Adam. They hate each other at the
They
start.
hate each other at the start, and then they have to kind of learn to work together if they want to, get through it.
Because, like, as someone who would love to make horror films, I love stories of movies like this where, like, they started off with a really low budget, thought, can we film something where it's only really predominantly in one location?
Yeah.
And when you give yourself less things to work with, I think when you're writing a story like that, especially for your first feature, you can get so much more out of it than if you were to film fucking everywhere and try and do too much. Because it feels almost like the stuff with Dr. Gordon and Adam, it could become, it's a movie on its own, whereas like all the noir mystery stuff, like all the cop elements to the thing, it feels very much also with the 2000s with every fucking CSI and Criminal Minds show that was going on. And it adds like a nice little bit of intrigue to it as well. Like at any point, did you think Dr. Gordon was the killer when you first saw this?
Maybe suspected him for a bit. Yeah.
Because he's like the big actor in the movie. Like
Yeah.
it was either going to be him or Danny Glover is who I suspected.
I honestly have to say it's the best twist to any film ever, and even like The Sixth Sense, because you can look back at The Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense is amazing, don't get me wrong, but when you watch it back, you can see how many clues there were, whereas in Saw there's fuck all clues.
There's like one little scene with John Kramer and he's just in the background because you
Yeah.
think it's going to be Zepp
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And that Hello Zepp score, fuck me, it's
Iconic.
I have it on my phone. I
Really?
listen to it when I go to the gym. Just as I'm coming up from doing a workout, it's like my face is like how Lee Winnell's is at the end, like fucking.
Oh. Yeah.
But do you think it works more with this one because they really use the angle of less is more with Jigsaw in this, whereas in the sequels they go really far into who John Kramer is as a person?
I don't really remember them that well.
I quite like that you just don't know anything. All you know is like there's the tape that they listen to, like hello, Sorry, that was shit. After me giving you shit earlier for yours, I just did a crap one. But
Rachel.
See that's fuck, you're scaring me even doing that, honestly. But yeah, I quite like the less is more, and the fact that you wonder too, and then at the end when he just gets up really slowly. You just see this figure that you've thought was dead for the whole film. There's been no clues at all that this isn't anything other than a dead body. Just start to slowly rise. That it gives me goosebumps.
And like I read actually that when they filmed that scene, Lee Winnell's screams were so painful it actually made James Wan upset because him and Lee Winnell are very good friends. Like
Who's that?
Lee Winnell's the guy who wrote this and plays Adam. James Wan directed it.
What? The guy who plays Adam wrote it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he writes a lot of James Wan's movies.
Oh my goodness, I
Yeah,
had no idea.
I think he wrote like Insidious and stuff as well. Yeah, they're very good pals.
Wow.
Maybe we are the James Wan and Lee Winnell of this podcast, Alan. Will we make a horror movie together? Who knows?
I can act, so I can be in it.
Fuck yes.
I'm the blonde that gets killed straight away.
Fun fact, my ex-boyfriend met James Wan.
Really?
At the premiere of Insidious at Cineworld.
Oh, wow.
Because my ex is called James Wan. So,
What?
like, I asked him and he said, I went to see the Glasgow premiere of Insidious at Cineworld where there was a Q&A with him. After it, I approached him and said, you stole my name. And he said, you're also James Wan. You stole my Twitter handle. I wonder if the filmmaker also likes bendy thumbs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. Alan's ex apparently watches the podcast for the sole reason that he likes bendy thumbs, and apparently I bend my thumbs a lot.
And also because
okay.
they're very entertaining.
That could be a good Saw thing, like get your thumb out of it, you know.
Oh, yeah, because there is one like that in Saw X.
Yeah.
It's only a dream
What's the
sequence,
thumb
but there's
the one with the guy who's been robbing,
Pulls
like
his thumb
the
back,
the
yeah.
nurse. Yeah, and then his eyes get sucked into that
vacuum thing.
vacuum thing. It's pretty horrific.
Oh, God.
I know. I'm like, Dad, do you want a wee light cinema?
Because I remember you said when we started this podcast, you used to really love films like this.
Oh yeah, when I was like a teenager, I loved this gory shit. See, like it was cause when I was playing video games, I really loved the Blood Rain games, which is all like hacking, blood, slashing, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I kind of sought it out when I was younger. It was like the grosser the better. But now I appreciate things like this. Like Saw has a reputation of being really gross, but then it's like when we did Hostel, you kind of go back to the first one. You're like, this is nowhere near as bad as its reputation is led you to
I need to
believe.
watch that again because I only saw it when it came out and I remember being terrified of it and then just never watching it again. So I need to give it another watch now.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
My friend of the show, Silas Sabowitz, is going to make his own version of it someday.
Trouble. I can't even say his name correctly, actually. Something like Suborlik.
You can't say most things correctly with how your voice is today, but I'm enjoying it. It's a very husky kind of
I
voice.
thought you were going to say, 'cause usually my pronunciation is a bit like...
Oh, I see. I get you. Got that one.
But like even with the traps in this, they're not as much as like big sequences as they are with the sequels, but the one with like the barbed wire just fucking, I remember that terrifying.
Oh,
me
what,
as a
that
kid.
guy who has to go through the cell like all the
Yeah.
way, all the way through the barbed wire.
And then the one with the candle, I'm just like, that dude had to walk around naked to shoot that. Around
broken glass, yeah.
On broken glass. Well,
Oh, no, it
probably
have
wasn't
been,
real broken glass.
It'll
It'd
have
be
been
like
called sugar glass.
Sugar
That's
glass,
what they
yeah.
use. When I was in a film called Beats, they had to use sugar glass because there was a scene where we all got like it thrown at us. But like it was a guy who was like 2 like stories above us throwing it out, and because nothing touched me. But I'm like, surely that would still hurt, even though it's sugar glass. You'd think it would still have some sort of, you know.
Aye. Well, because like I know you do acting and stuff as well. Would you like to be cast as a Saw victim?
Oh my god, yes, definitely.
What do you reckon your crime for it would be?
Well,
what bad things have you done in the past, Rachel?
I know what my punishment would be, right? I don't know, because you guys are guys, you've probably never had acrylic nails, right? But see, when
No.
you get acrylic nails, they put them on with like industrial strength glue. I was actually going to show you a picture on my phone because one time one of them like came off and like my whole nail ripped off with it. And it was like all blood down my finger. And I suddenly thought of Adam in Saw when the door shuts. I suddenly thought of that, being like, that would be my punishment, to have to rip off 10 industrial strength glue so that every one you get rid of your fingernail with each one. So that would be like probably my punishment from Saw, because it's the sorest thing I've ever encountered.
A similar thing happened to me when I was a kid, and you're gonna love this. So when I was about 10, I was swinging on my friend's like little metal gate outside of his house. I did not realize that I had put my foot underneath it, and the gate snapped, and the whole weight of it just crushed my toenail.
Oh my god.
Oh man, why would I love that?
You'd love it because I was wearing Crocs at the time, and they didn't save me.
That is worthy of a jigsaw punishment.
Definitely. No, I like Crocs. I'm going to defend Crocs. My dad's got a pair of maroon ones that I bought him years ago, and I just think they're so comfy. You just can't beat them.
I mean,
I
I've
only ever use them for
Asda brand
walking.
Crocs.
Oh, Asda brand Crocs. Okay, that's a jigsaw punishment.
didn't even know that was a thing.
Crimes against fashion.
On second thought, Alan.
You have been buying Asta brand Crocs. This cannot be allowed to go on because your fashion statements are fuck. I can't even improvise it.
What would the punishment that be? Just like have to pick up like the key to a device out of like a crocodile's mouth with my
Oh
toes.
yeah, that sounds a good one. Yeah,
Or just have to work an Asta night shift.
for the end of time.
You're constantly putting stuff on the high shelves because I've worked in supermarkets and fuck me, I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, it's just too much. Even in the night shift, it's just fucking irritating. Like,
Yeah.
you're constantly drinking energy drinks to try and stay awake, and
Yeah.
they don't have that luxury in the Saw films. Imagine if like Jigsaw was nice and he just had a little vending machine of like energy drinks to help
Yeah,
them
it's
stay
like,
awake.
it's going to take a bit of time, guys. So if you spend a couple hours, just help yourself to the snacks.
Because see the actress who played Amanda,
Yeah.
I think if they had, I think she could have made a fantastic Harley Quinn back in that
really?
day. Like, because it took ages for them to get Harley Quinn into a movie, but she's got that kind of can go a little bit hammy, but you can also really empathize with her kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
And she's only in the first movie for one scene, and within that, she does so much in that like just one
Yeah, you
little
do feel bad
interrogation.
for her, even when she's got to kill. Remember when it's like she's got to kill her cellmate to get the
Aye.
key to get the contraption off?
And the dude was alive the whole time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the thing that really
yeah.
unsettled me about
Well,
that.
yeah, because at first you think it's a dead body. You're like, right, easy. And then just as she goes like that, he's like,
An opium overdose. Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was meant to be punishments. I wouldn't mind getting to stab Joel McHale's smug face. Update from my ex. Apparently James Wan was very nice and very short.
Oh, okay.
Short
So there you
king.
go.
Very
Yeah,
nice,
short
very short.
Put him in the new Snow White.
Yeah. I'll probably go see Aquaman then. Class. But
Amber Heard. Boo.
oh, that's gonna get Twitter to love us. Fantastic.
I went to see the trailer the other day and she's not even in the trailer.
I feel like she's not gonna be in the movie for very much.
Yeah, apparently she's only in a couple scenes.
I'm there to see Jason Momoa kick the shit out of Black Manta, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I say out of a black man.
Fuck
Oh
no.
my God.
Where's that going to go?
My God, Dean.
Justice for Johnny Depp. Just bring it back to that.
It's like the stuff that also like really gets me with Dr. Gordon here is like the stuff with his family, like the fact that James Wan had the confidence to have a whole extended scene where he's just chatting to his daughter, trying to help her go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it has a fair bit of heart to it. Like this could just be all set in the little room with
Yeah.
him and Adam and just be pure gory and like mind fucking stuff. The fact that it takes time to go into who this guy is as a family man, that takes real confidence for a horror film to do, because not many of them can pull it off.
Yeah.
And also, isn't that the wee girl saying, like, there's a man in my room?
Yeah,
And then it
it's-
turns out there is a man. And it's the guy who's in Lost.
yeah,
Yeah.
Was he from Lost?
Michael Emerson. Yeah, he was in
Oh
Lost.
shit! Yeah, of
He
course.
played
yeah.
Ben. He played, like, Henry Gale / Ben in Lost.
I haven't seen Lost since I was a teenager, but it's just
Really?
coming back to me
Yeah,
now.
that guy from Saw is in Lost. Yeah, he's a great actor.
He does have kind of that character actor kind of look. He looks
Yeah.
like he'd play like Uncle Ben's killer in a Spider-Man movie or something.
Yeah, totally. It's a good shout. Yeah.
For the fourth reboot of Spider-Man, there's your guy. You
There's
can
your
get
guy.
him to kill Uncle
Michael
Ben.
Emerson, go on.
I hadn't seen a Saw film in a very long time, and I always kind of remember the idea was that he was quite ethical, like he killed people that deserved it. Then I watched it again, and Amanda, it's just like, oh, she's a drug addict.
Yes.
I was like, that's not very like.
Well, it's very of the
2023 of
mindset
you.
of 2000s, I think. Like, they would have changed now if they had made it today, I reckon.
Yeah, it's like Jigsaw. You have killed over 30 men. It's like half of them should be women. Take that diversity quote up.
Well, he does keep a nice gender balance with his victims across the series.
does.
Like, I remember most of the women who end up being in the Saw traps are usually like real estate developers who have like got people out of their house and like ended up killing them. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy it because it's
Yeah.
kind of. It's so different from this one to the sequels, because in the first one you kind of look away from the traps, but in the sequels it's like a Schadenfreude kind of thing. You want to see them all fucking massacred.
Such
Yeah.
a feminist.
Yeah.
Equal slay.
Equally. I'll tell you what, though, I went to see Saw 2, right, at the cinema. So it was a couple years after Saw, and I went with my friend. And in the first scene, it's a guy who's got a kind of sort of similar sort of bear trap on, and he's got to like get a key like out from under his eye.
Yeah, I
in
remember
order
that.
to, and I got up literally and walked down the cinema steps because I said to my friend, I can't handle this. Like, because I was like 18, 19, and I was like, I can't do this again, because that's how scared I was from like the first Saw. And she was like, set your car's down. We've got our popcorn. Like, where the fuck do you think you're going? And I just remember that so vividly, like actually not wanting to see it again because it was that scary.
I would love to see like a popcorn deal for a Saw film where you know how they put candy in popcorn now?
Yeah.
Someone's just put a little chocolate key in it.
Is there like a certain body part or type of body horror that really freaks you out? Like, is eye stuff a particular thing for you?
That's good. I think, like I say, fingernails.
Yeah.
That's something like the idea of just having your whole fingernail ripped off.
I think mouth stuff is it for me. That's where the bear trap really gets to
Right.
me.
Okay.
Is that because like I've always been really freaked out by teeth stuff.
Right.
Like there was a scene in A Cure for Wellness where he's getting like his teeth.
Oh, I
pulled
love that
out.
movie.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Eel soup.
I love Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, that was a great film. I
Yeah.
love that actor.
Dane
He sort of
DeHaan.
looks like
Oh, yeah,
he looks like a sick version of Leonardo DiCaprio.
If he was malnourished.
Leonardo DiCaprio could play fucking what's his face from Titanic, but Dane DeHaan, because he's the only one who could play the Green Goblin.
But yeah, because like you
Yeah.
can relate teeth stuff to like being
Right,
at the
okay.
dentist, and eye stuff never used to freak me out because I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. But then
Yeah.
I had like an eye test where they had to put this really sharp thing on my eyeball after numbing it, and now I watch it, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that's
no,
very
that scares
jigsaw.
me.
Very
Yeah.
jigsawy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what happened to your mouth that's freaked you out, Dean?
it's just
Can we say?
it's all the years from going to like the dentist and stuff, like the stuff they'd used to open your lips,
Right,
and just
okay.
the idea of that accidentally ripping because your lips are quite sensitive.
Yeah.
And the bear trap just freaks me out because of that, because I can imagine exactly what that would feel like.
Oh.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
like having my mouth. I need to be able to enjoy all my Tory dinners that you make fun of me for making. I think I made polenta once, and it's now my fucking nickname.
I saw a great film the other day, a great horror film. It's just come out. It's called Thanksgiving. Have you heard of it?
Yeah,
remember that,
the
yeah.
Eli
And
Roth thing. It's
yeah,
class.
Eli Roth. Yeah, did you see it?
Yeah.
And Patrick Dempsey's in it from Grey's Anatomy. The one
And
that
Scream 3.
he's in Scream 3.
Yeah, he's Nev Campbell's love interest
Oh my
slash
god,
the cop.
I need to watch it again. I've not seen Scream 3 for years.
For good reason. It's the worst Scream movie.
It is, because I'm a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. But there was a bit in Thanksgiving, the one that freaked me out the most out of all those killings was when she got something jammed into her ears. Do you remember that bit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, it was a corn cob kind of thing.
Yeah, because she'd just taken her earpods out, and then I think he got corn on the cob things and just went, "Jah!" And it was just the idea of how sore that would be.
I popped the eardrums and that. It
Yeah,
was-
exactly.
Oh,
It's
my.
very good.
It's
Like,
a really good, like, Slayer fest, basically.
Yeah, I miss movies like that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I love having because I remember growing up, we would always mention Jigsaw as like being because it wasn't really like a big new killer in the 2000s up until Jigsaw. I think because like it would have been like Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Michael. Jigsaw was sort of the next one down the line, and even then, there's a whole angle of is he really a killer? He's
Yeah.
never killed anybody in his life.
He's so clearly a killer.
He did slash a guy's neck. He just got lucky that he lived.
Was that actually Tobin Bell though? Because I thought that was Zep, but it was just Tobin Bell doing the voiceover.
No, I think it was Tobin Bell.
I'm not sure.
Because I'm not sure Tobin Bell would have been that physically able because he was quite
'cause
old when he got
all-
cast.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Can't
was
remember.
Zep.
Well, shit, now I need to watch it again.
Zep's the guy from Lost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy from Lost.
Very lost in this movie as well, just mentally. He's finding John Kramer to be a very interesting person. I love that. That's just a sweet little touch at the beginning when Carrie was like, yeah, the patient's got colon cancer. And
Yeah.
Zep's like, yeah, he's a very interesting guy. His name's John.
Yeah, that's all you needed to know.
Yeah.
This guy was mentally unwell.
Oh, and because you do find out at the end that he's basically been forced into this as well.
Yeah.
Like to kidnap
Yes.
Walter Gordon's family and all that shit. And
Yeah,
it's
so he's
just-
part of the puzzle as well. Everyone's a part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, why punish Zep? Why put poison into Zep? He didn't do anything wrong before that. So Jigsaw is actually a bit of a dick.
He is a dick. He's a
Yeah.
complete dick.
Yeah. Well,
Controversial.
Well, it's like because I remember people saying like, imagine if this was the only Saw film, and you would just leave the ending thinking, oh yeah, Jigsaw probably just eventually died of cancer, and you wouldn't have gotten the sequels. Do you think that would have made this film stand better, or do the sequels kind of add to?
I think I could kind of go both ways. I think it could stand alone as just a brilliant horror film. But it's also like the people like seeing what's going to be the contraptions in this film, what's going to be the so it kind of Gorefest for Gorefest lovers.
It's a shame Home Alone couldn't keep the same thing up because I saw the last Home Alone film on Disney Plus, and I love you, Rob Delaney, but that movie was a piece of shit.
Oh, was it? I've
Is it
never
Saw
seen it.
X where he comes back?
Yeah,
Yes,
but it's
Saw
a
X is a
prequel.
prequel,
Oh, okay.
so it's kind of sort of set around the times of the first couple of films because he's
Okay.
like dying of lung cancer.
Yeah, and what I do like about it is that they keep the sort of grainy film look of the Saw films. Because see if this film looked too polished, I think it'd be less to the aesthetics, kind of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing.
Oh, I love
like that movie works because of the grainy kind of grindhouse aesthetic.
But there's just something so freaky about, you know, you were saying like most of the film is just set in that one kind of bathroom, and there's something so like you say something so like brave about that in like a Hollywood film to have most of the film in one room
Aye,
with just two actors.
it only cost like I think $1 million to make, and it made $100 million.
Wow.
So like this launched James Wan's career. 100%.
It was almost like a play. Do you know what I mean? Like it could have been a play. Just,
I would love to see Saw as a stage play, because I've seen Misery. I've seen Misery as a stage play, and it was very good.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I can understand Misery as a stage play, but Saw, what the fuck?
We both acted. Fuck it. Let's just put it on.
All
You
right.
can be Dr. Gordon. I'll be Adam.
All right, let's do it.
Fuck
All right.
yes. We'll
I'm
get
not-
Alan to be Jigsaw. Just
you
lie
just get
down.
to lie dead for like hours. That's your
Play dead.
that's your pay grade.
So we got any good true or falses for this?
Oh yes.
Okay. Is this like a quiz part of the podcast?
Yes,
Pretty
we
much,
test your knowledge.
Oh fuck. Okay, here
Firstly,
we go.
when Amanda stabs her cellmate, the guts that she searches through are cow stomachs.
Is that true or false?
Yeah, well, you need to guess.
I'm gonna say false for that.
I'm gonna say true.
It was actually pig uteruses.
Oh, so I was
Well, it
close.
makes sense because of the pig masks. They would have just had some left over.
Oh right, okay.
All of the bathroom scenes were shot in chronological order.
No.
True.
False, completely false.
No, that's true. Yeah.
What?
Apparently, James Wan wanted them to. He did it because he wanted them to kind of feel what they were going through
Oh
as
my,
it
that's
happens.
so cool.
yeah.
Because that never happens with films. That's why I thought definitely not.
They'll
So
film like
that's-
the last scene of something first, and then like just
Yeah.
fill in the blanks.
It must
That's
have helped
really
as well
cool.
because they get progressively more manky.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that
really
room
cool.
is fucking
It's
disgusting.
minging.
Like,
Proper minging.
and the only thing I like that because the clock is the only thing that looks new, and that's how Dr.
Yeah.
Gordon knows. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, someone wants us to keep an eye on the time.
Yeah.
No, man, that film made my feet hurt. It was really manky, though.
I mean,
I can't believe that.
my floors have been quite dirty sometimes when my brother had house parties. Like I came in one time in Dubai, and there was just the stairs were so sticky because everyone had been spilling fucking fruity booze on it.
Oh man.
And whenever I walk up that, I just get reminded back to what that room in Saw looked like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. It's like when you have a story and you're like, I don't know if I should tell.
No.
The puppet was built by James Wan.
I'm gonna say true for that.
True.
That was true.
Woo. I only got one right.
What was the other one? In the scene of Jigsaw in the hospital, you can actually see the reverse bear trap next to his hospital bed, a picture of it.
I think that should be true.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it again to confirm, but I'm just gonna say true.
Apparently that is true. Although I didn't pick up
So
on it.
it's
I
just
just read
like
it
a
on
little
IMDb.
kind of little sort of showing what he's up
Yeah.
to. Kind of
Because in Saw X, they show him sketching some of the traps before he gets it.
Clearly inspired the human centipede when you see the three dogs next to each other next to his bed.
This is the thing you don't know in the podcast, but Alan loves mentioning the human centipede
Right,
in every
okay.
episode.
Almost every
It's
episode
become like a
before
running
one.
joke at this point.
Oh,
I can't wait to see how you do it when we get to the Jaws episode. That's going to be quite a stretch.
shark centipede? I don't know.
Oh, God.
I'll get thinking on that.
Oh.
Don't want to disappoint anyone. And lastly,
Lastly.
a dummy was used for Tobin Bell lying dead, as he said in an interview that he could not play dead to save himself.
I'm going to say true because that would have been a long time to lie there dead.
I'm going to say false because I remember seeing that Tobin Bell did actually stay still for that, and because he wanted it to appear lifelike.
Well, look at me. I do my research. Yeah, he did. That was actually him playing dead the whole time.
Fuck. So what? So every scene
Yeah.
where they're just between them and it doesn't even cut to him.
Yep.
So he did that like unnecessarily for lots of the time because, you know, most of it you don't even see the body. You
Yeah,
see what I
Tobin
mean?
Bell's committed.
Oh my God, that is method.
Yeah, he's great at playing dead.
Yeah,
Bloody
that's
hell.
a good way to do method acting, unlike Jared Leto.
What are you talking about? You know, in the Gucci, House of Gucci.
Oh God, I've not
I'm
even
Italian.
I've not even seen that movie, but just hearing that makes
And
me
Lady
hate it.
Gaga's accent was awful as well. She sounded Russian.
Oh, I thought she was incredible. I love that.
You're so gay.
I know,
You're
like-
too gay.
Oh, I thought it was iconic. Maybe for
Like,
the wrong reasons, but I didn't really enjoy
That's so funny.
House of Gucci.
I've not heard anyone say she thinks she's good in that. Like, you are the first.
Unironically, I'd have to see it.
You do have questionable taste. You do unironically love the Human Centipede as a film.
I've not seen that.
true.
I've not seen it.
Never been inspired to.
Never been inspired to see it. Same with Two Girls, One Cup.
I wouldn't recommend
Never thought
it.
about that either.
It's interesting how people conflate the two of them.
Yeah,
isn't
they just seem to all be the same thing for me.
I mean, there's shit in this movie as well.
it? Is there?
Yeah, when he has to dig through the toilet.
Oh,
to get
that's
Oh,
gross.
yeah.
I wonder what they used for that because it looks so real.
probably just like I would say, guess like chocolate milk or something.
Yeah, something like that. But then, how would you give it the stodginess though?
Yeah.
Well, the person I'm seeing actually said that someone did this to her as a prank because she really hates like
Block the
posh
toilet?
food. No, someone made her the cup of pasta, the pasta and sauce thing, which she really loves, and then added something different to it because the texture was different, and she hated it, and she immediately says, "What is in this?" And she says, "Oh, secret ingredient. I put smash in that to add to the texture."
That's like a jigsaw punishment right there.
Yeah, and I think they broke up because of it.
I put smash in.
That's
Deary
mental.
me.
Instant pasta to make it less watery.
Wow.
That is absolutely manky.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about designing a saw trap for someone?
Ooh, well. Actually, no, I don't.
No.
I don't hate him enough.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't.
Just
Just because I know I wouldn't be good at building one. Like, I'm not good at DIY.
Don't let that stop you from achieving your dreams.
Oh,
of
imagine
maybe
if
killing
like
someone.
Jigsaw had a trap there that didn't work. He's so excited to
Like,
see it
God
happen,
damn
and it's
it.
like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Can you hold on a minute, please?
me a minute.
Like, no, I've won the game. No, you've lost the game.
I'll tell you what was one of the worst ones. I can't remember which Saw. I think it was Saw 3. Because Angus McFadden from Braveheart's in Saw 3. He's like the main guy. And there's a bit where he's got to save his lawyer and there's like pigs. And do you remember?
Oh yeah, that.
Do you remember?
That made me feel ill.
And it's is it like pig puke
It's like
or pig
it's decomposing pigs that are then
decomposing pigs
liquidized
that
and
are
thrown
liquidized.
onto them.
Oh
and
my
God.
God.
And he's like drowning in that. He's drowning in decomposing pigs.
And that's somehow worse than the trap in that actually freaks me out. The dude who's trapped in the thing and his body is
His
constantly
body is twisting, yeah.
That's so hard to watch.
Because he was the driver of the something that
Joke's
killed.
on you. I'm a contortionist.
Yeah, joke's on you. I'm double jointed, motherfucker.
Can we do favorite kill in this? Because you don't really see much of the kills.
There's the barbed wire guy, the candle guy, Joel McHale getting stabbed to death, Detective Song, Tap, and Zip.
Wow.
Oh, we haven't even mentioned this. Actually, we should have done that. The whole we've got to cut through our feet thing, because when they actually
yeah,
get to him
yeah.
cutting through his foot, it actually feels like you should be horrified of it. Whereas, I think in the sequels you get used to seeing so much blood and gore, you end up a bit desensitized to it.
Yeah.
It's just something that you could realistically think of happening. Like, we've all cut ourselves. It's just kind of more extreme. It's not like you getting your fucking, I don't know, face
And
ripped off.
And
that's
at
a
that
rusty saw too.
At that point of the film, that's like when it's really like built up. Like he knows his wife and daughter are in real imminent danger. So it's that way of like you kind of do believe it. That he's like, you know what, I've had fuck enough of this. I need to get out here now.
I do like the transition though between his really serious, threatening voice and then realizing it's his wife. He's like, oh, yeah, you touched them, you son of a bitch, I'll kill you. He's like, Allie? Allie? I've seen that as a clip made fun of on the internet
Oh,
so
really?
many times. I'm like, if you were in that position, you'd probably do the same thing. Fucking film Twitter. Fuck off.
Film Twitter.
Ugh. They're the worst people. Ugh. But please subscribe to our podcast.
I'd say worst kill is probably Adam because you just think he's going to be alive for days before he dies.
Oh, yeah, Adam dies.
Adam, obviously don't see him die, but
Well, we don't know. There are rumors that he actually survived and they just put a skeleton in there and he
Really?
might come back in another Saw film.
really? But how could they justify him getting out? How could they
They just make him another apprentice.
another apprentice?
Yeah.
They just do that when they're running out of things to do with characters.
Pretty much.
I really love that at the start where the doctor's like, hold on, I think I can reach the door, as if Jigsaw's going to be like, of course, I forgot to lock
Yeah,
the fucking
exactly.
door. What am I like?
What am I like?
Plan foils.
It's for favorite kill, I would have to say, I think the simplicity of the candle wax and the flammable substance on the dude is just horrifying.
I've never been burned alive, but like,
Well, the good.
But
I imagine that would be pretty quick, whereas the barbed wire man, just like
God.
having to constantly push yourself forward and just being cut and cut and cut. I
Yeah,
think
the
that's quite
speed at
brutal.
which he goes through it as well.
Yeah.
Also, a special shout to the shotgun trap. That was very cool.
Oh, that was cool.
I miss poor Detective Tap though. Like, any of you play the Saw video games?
No.
No, but
I didn't know there was some.
Yeah, for like they came out for the PS3, I think, in like
Right.
2008. They're actually all right. They're like little alternate takes on, like, I think one follows Danny Glover's character and one follows Detective Tapp, and they're quite cool. It's you have to like use the controller and stuff to get out of traps and like use the motion controllers to move through needles and shit. They're very fun games.
It's like my childhood.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite kill for this? I know you said the worst one was Adam, but like
Yeah, I feel like
favorite?
Adams is the most extreme in terms of like how long you're going to have to lie there until you die of starvation. I don't know. Yeah, probably the candle guy as well. Just because he's like how many codes are on that wall, and he's got this one tiny little can. And doesn't he have like he needs to get the antidote? That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
So he's
yeah.
being poisoned. There's broken glass all over the floor. There's about 1,000 combinations. That seems quite severe.
I do wonder how many times he's actually just not put the poison in, and he's just kind of made them think it.
Oh,
Yeah,
like a kind of
placebo thing.
placebo
Yeah.
effect. Maybe.
He's just putting something that makes them think they're poisoned, like they've had to down like a shot of absinthe or something. That stuff is disgusting.
But then in the
blood.
second one, he says that they've all got poison in their veins, and then that woman does actually end up just crashing out on the floor because she's so fucked.
Oh yeah, I misread the scene where he gives the cigarette to Adam. I don't know. I think I was looking at my phone and taking notes. But like, I thought Adam was actually pretending to be dead because he thought the doctor was actually trying to kill him with the cigarette.
Right,
And I was
okay.
like, oh, you're shit at this.
No, he was just very bad at pretending to die.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And then the electricity goes through the room and fucking shocks him.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that never got Tobin Bell though.
Yeah.
Maybe he's wearing like rubber or something and
Yeah.
it's not conducting.
Yeah, he's really lucky like they didn't throw something and just like smacked him in the face or something because they're throwing a lot back and
Yeah,
forth.
they
could have
are.
went, my eye.
I think they do say in the sequel that when he goes to sit down, like it shows him taking something to make his heart slow down and like constrict his movement.
Yes. Yeah, it does show you how he managed to do it, how he managed to look dead.
The Saw series are very good at tying up plot holes, which I'll
Yes.
give them credit for.
Yeah.
Because it looked like he was kind of coming around from like 30 Valium. Just ripping his face off.
One of the most extreme ones, I think, is in Saw 2, when the woman's got her hands trapped up in the, like she's trying to find the code. Like, you know, because they've all got the code on the back of their head, and if they get the code, they can open, and she ends up just having to slash her own wrists.
Oh shit, yeah, I know the one
Yeah.
you're talking about. That
Yeah.
was horrifying.
Yeah. And it's the way the guy comes up and gets her number and then doesn't even kill her. He just walks away.
Also,
He's,
the
like, left.
needle trap from Saw 2.
Oh, that is gross. That's manky. And it's
Yeah.
Amanda who goes in there, and she's like playing along, yet ends up in that.
Yeah, we'll have to get you back for the other Saw movies. Actually, I'm really enjoying
Yeah,
this.
definitely. I've seen all 10 of them, so let's
I'm
go.
not in the mood to watch them all again now, actually.
Do it.
Yeah, I always do that whenever I watch the first one. I'm like, I'm just going to watch the rest. And it's Christmas time, so what better time?
Yeah.
They stopped numbering them between 7 and 9, didn't they? Because it was like the final chapter, and then it was Jigsaw, then it was Spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with Chris Rock.
yeah,
is
that-
it's not good.
I've not seen
I
that one
did
yet.
enjoy it because the deaths were still pretty extreme. Like the first one with the train, that was horrible.
Yeah, but the voice they had for Jigsaw
Oh, the
in
voice
that
was dumb.
awful.
Yeah, it was like, hello. Hello, officer.
Like Mickey Mouse has
You've been
joined
very,
it.
yeah, you've been very bad. Well, I
Oh,
don't know if
that
it was
sounds horrible.
don't know if it was exactly like that, but
I thought Jigsaw was alright. I thought the thing they did with like the whole kind of twist where like the stories aren't actually happening simultaneously.
Yes,
They're like
yes.
20 odd years apart or
yeah,
something.
that was cool.
smart.
Yeah, I like
Like that.
Jigsaw a lot.
The laser trap at the end was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that whole faking thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love this
Covering the
series
first
so
one.
much.
Spoilers for the
It's
night.
really good. And yeah, Tobin Bell, it's good that they managed to get such a good actor because those films could have been trash. They could have been
Yeah.
trash with the wrong actor. Do you know what I mean?
Who would have been the worst actor that we could think of
worst
to play
actor to
Jigsaw?
play
Not necessarily
Jigsaw.
a bad actor, but wrong for Jigsaw.
Brad Pitt.
You're too sexy to be this angry, Brad.
You're also too sexy to have your face planted down for 2 hours and not get to see it.
You know, I'm trying to think who would be bad. Brad Dourif would actually be class for this.
Who's
so
that?
He's the voice of Chucky.
Oh, the voice of Chucky. You
Yeah.
do know your shit, man.
Uh-huh. And
Our horror expert.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is
The
Jigsaw.
like 2000s Keanu Reeves.
With this like monotone voice.
Actually, that might work.
It might
Fuck.
work. It might work.
Just any of the action heroes from the 80s. Sylvester Stallone.
He'd have Arnie wake up at the end, turn to Adam and go, I bet you never saw that coming.
I won't be right back.
Because when Tobin Bell does get up and he's like, oh, the key to that chain is in the bathtub. It's so cruel. Like, that feels dead cruel. Like, he could have saved himself then
Straight
and there
away.
if he just didn't
Wouldn't that have
wake
been a
up.
bit too easy? way. Like, do you know what I mean? If it had gone that way and he had found the key straight away, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like the film would be over.
Yeah, he's banking on a lot of things going
He
wrong.
is banking on a lot of things.
Like, did you suspect that there was something going on between Adam and Dr. Gordon? Not as the affair, but like how Dr. Gordon's having an affair, and like Adam's this PI person.
Yeah, he's
kind
like
of
the
person.
photographer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam didn't deserve to die either.
No, Adam didn't
Jigsaw,
deserve to
you
die.
dick.
I know. I feel really sorry for like you say. Adam screams at the end.
Yeah.
That gives me chills.
I actually thought he was going to end up being like the paedophile dentist that Tap talks about. He was just a shit photographer.
Oh man, just as PI on the side.
PI on the side.
Well, I think that'll more or less get us to the end. And now we have a great section on this podcast that I love seeing guests react to.
Okay.
So our rating system. How many big pumpkins out of 5 are we giving the first Saw movie?
How many big pumpkins out of 5?
Yeah.
5.
5 big pumpkins.
Definitely.
I'm gonna actually, you know how I define a perfect movie. It's a perfect version of what it is. So I'm with Rachel on this. I'm also gonna say 5.
Woo!
Will we get through to your hard to please brain, Alan? We will find out.
I'll say 4.5 big pumpkins.
4.5. Okay, it's just like with Scream. So now
You're
this is
like-
up there with Scream.
You're like Craig Revel Horwood on Strictly.
I don't watch Strictly, but my mum does, so I got
You
that
got
reference.
it. You got that one.
The token woofter is what she means.
No, I meant the hard to please.
Easy to please.
It's a perfect version of what it is. It started a really great franchise. It unfortunately inspired some really shitty imitators in the 2000s, but Saw is just like, it's a really good for a thing that started the whole gore franchise. I love how much this film actually holds back on the gore, so that when you do see it, it is shocking.
It was Saw that started the whole torture porn thing, wasn't it?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. Was the original, original torture porn.
And it was like a response to like all the Scream imitators that had come out in the late 90s.
So what else was there? There was like Hostel. There was
Hostel.
what else?
I'm sure there's other ones that have been made that are kind of like Saw. I can't think of the names of them.
Me
but
neither.
Maybe we'll cover them. Maybe there's a reason we can't fucking remember
Yeah.
them because they're not good.
Like, so many of them are crap. Like seriously, you go into like something like Poundland or any shop, you just see like a bunch of them for like so cheap.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they wouldn't have been similar in plot to Saw, but they would have like over relied on gore as much.
Yeah.
So like I remember the remake of The Hills Have Eyes being quite heavy on gore when it didn't really need to be.
Is that set in the Highlands? Terrible.
Wait, Highlands is not the same as Shetland, is it?
No.
Okay, thank fuck, because I was going to reference Marilyn Robertson there, and I don't want to offend her because I'd love to have her on this podcast at some point. But I think that'll more or less wraps up. Rachel, it was absolutely class having you on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I suppose I've got a special. It's called Almost Famous and it's on Next Up Comedy. It just came out like last week. So just sign up to Next Up Comedy and you'll be able to watch Almost Famous.
I've been looking for a reason to sign up to Next Up Comedy, and you've just given me one. Okay, Alan, where can we find you?
You can find me at Alan J Comedy. You can also find me, Dean, and the lovely Kyle Samuel at Van Winkle West on the 17th of March at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival for our triple bill show called Scream Queens.
Woo, that's a great title. I love it.
We did a little photo shoot in Alan's gaff where we all dressed as our favourite horror killers. You dressed as Simon Pegg with a penguin for some reason and a gun. I dressed as Ghostface, and Kyle is trying to shoot Michael Myers in the head.
Ghostface is my favourite. Yes, respect.
We love Ghostface.
And just before we wrap up, we're going to say this right now. Spyglass, get your heads out of your ass and rehire Melissa Barrera, you fucking idiots. I mentioned this when I was on The Fatherless, but the whole thing that's happened with Melissa Barrera has really angered me.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting the podcast to end. So about that Palestine thing.
Yeah, it's similar to the James Gunn thing. Like, what they're doing is just retwisting her words to something she didn't mean. Fucking rehire her, you fucking cowards. Did you learn nothing from Scream 3? Being reactive to the fucking shit like this is going to kill your movie franchise. Plus, she didn't do anything wrong, so
Yeah, fuck
fuck
knows
it.
what's going to happen with Scream 7 now.
It'll probably go into like production hell for a while, and then the rights will get sold to another studio, I reckon.
Well, I've got a huge crush on Skeet Ulrich, you know, the original Billy Loomis.
He is
Huge
he is the
crush on him.
sexiest horror killer.
Sexiest horror killer of all time. And the fact that they brought him back for Scream 6 was
Oh, did
just
they?
ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
He plays like the ghost version of himself talking to his daughter. And it
Because
is
Sam
wild.
Carpenter's Melissa Barrera's character is Billy Loomis's daughter.
Yes. Because he was shagging someone else apart from Sydney.
Oh, yeah,
Because remember,
that-
Sydney wouldn't shag him, so he was
Yeah.
obviously shagging someone else at school.
Was that covered in Scream 5? Because
Yes.
that's the last one I saw.
Yes.
Okay, I want to see
Yeah.
6 again, actually. That sounds
Yeah,
fun.
but I just like love him. I follow him on Instagram, and I've actually tried to message him to see if he would, go on a date with me. It might be a little deluded, but you never know.
Who knows?
You never
Always
know.
shoot your shot.
Got to shoot your shot. So I'm
Shoot
just
your
waiting
shot.
for a reply from Skeet.
Quiet from Skate. Thank you guys once again so much for watching the pod. You can find the pod at BS Fears Pod on Twitter and Blood, Sweat and Fears Pod on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere else. Going to put some more clips out for this. Rachel, once again, was fantastic having you on. You are welcome back anytime. We'll probably get you back for some of the other Saw films.
Yeah, please
this is
do.
really
Why
fun.
not? Please do.
Yeah, and
Thanks for having me.
thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.